Hi guys, it's Venus coming back to it. What up, pros? How you doing today? I know everybody is still in the house. We all are. I look like I'm in the house, but that's okay. Like I said, we in the house. But anyway, I wanted to demonstrate something for you guys. This is a style I used to wear many years ago when I was younger, before I decided to lock my hair up. This was my go-to to lock my hair up. But I never did it because I kept refreshing it, kept refreshing it, kept refreshing it because I loved it so much. And then I'm going to show you guys some tricks that I used to do with this style to make your style last. You can get to wear this style 6 months to a year and don't ever have to take it down. Okay? I'm going to show you how to trick. So anyway, this look like braids on my mannequin. This looks like her hair from a distance. It's not, it's yarn. So this is her hair here. And this is yarn. So this is a knotless yarn braid on her hair. So you can see it goes any which way. And this one is a regular braid. That's to the scalp. Not a regular braid, but a regular plait. The old-fashioned way when you loop it around. And this was knotless. This is without a knot. And this is with a knot. And this yarn. You can't really tell because I found this color is so dead on. It's a little darker. If you look hard, you can tell that it's a little darker than her hair, but it's perfect match. When you put her hair next to it, you can see this a little lighter, but mixed in it, it blends well. And this one is a wrap. This is what I used to do for my hair when these grow out, when my roots would get long. So I didn't want to take these long braids out and re-braid them. I would just go back in and wrap the roots with this. So the first time when they grow out, I would wrap the whole thing all the way down. And then every 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, when my roots would get longer, I would wrap my roots with this, like this, wrap it, and then tie it off and snip it. And you couldn't tell the way it's tied off because of the way I tie them off. So you can see here, let me show you the tip of this. So this is tied off and cut. Now, holding it up close to the camera, it looks pretty light. Ooh, who wants that? But when I come back off the camera, you see there, it looks great. I mean, I didn't snip everything because I wanted you to be able to see. But if I snip this little piece off here, if I snip these little pieces all the way off to the ball, you won't even be able to see that. See there? That side is done. You can't even see it. But you can see there, if I snip that little piece off, it'll be gone. See how that look from afar? You barely can see that. And then if you wanted this, like this is knot. So I'll show you how I do my knots because I do my knots really different. I don't just wrap them around the time. I do them different. So a lot of people don't want that burnt feel on the end. So I do this like this so you don't have to worry about it unraveling. And the longer it's like this, the better it stays. In order to even take this knot out, you have to cut it. But I'll show you how to do the knot. And that was the regular one. And this one is the knotless one. It looks good on the root. I hope you guys can see that pretty good. That it looks good on the root. It's all the way flat. And then this is what her end looks like. I left this one a little bit bushier because I wanted to really be able to show you guys my knot technique that I do on the ends. And then you can cut this off, or if you like the idea of having it like that, you can. All you gotta do is take the lighter and put just a little heat, and it won't turn black, but it'll melt it enough where you can just roll it with your fingers and it'll stay like that too. It'll be nice and neat, real tidy for you. But it's up to you. Some people don't want that burnt feeling, but you can cut this all the way down. You can cut these little fuzzes all the way down to the knot, and all you'll have is just a knot like that. See how the knot looks? That's all you'll have. It'll be nice and round. You won't be able to see that it's a knot. It just fits real nice and round. You just cut these little fuzzies off right here. And then this is the same way. So this I left out because I know there's a lot of Caucasian people who are starting to get into wearing like braids and all that stuff. And I've been seeing people make the dreads, but a lot of people don't want that permanent interlock dread into their hair because they like the idea of being able to change their looks whenever they want to. So this is two things you can do with this hair like this. So some people have curly hair and they like the mix of the nappy with the straight. This gives you that option where you can wear the ends curly and have the kinky kinky looking nappy, like twist down and then have the straight hair on the end, and it can be curly, like the curly tips that everybody wear. You can do that, or you can come back in with another piece of yarn and finish this all the way down, and it'll be wrapped from top to bottom, and it looks like a regular dread. And so the camera doesn't really do it any justice, but you can see from afar, it doesn't look like a braid at all. It's wrapped all the way down. And so I try to show you, wrap it so you can see that the way that I got it laid. So these can be, you know, when you put these on here, this one, what I did was I plaited and then crocheted the yarn underneath here and twisted. So sometimes you want to be able to move these, or like maybe you want to round where they look curly. You want to be able to twist them. You want to be able to have a little bit of, see there? You want to be able to have them where you can slide them a little bit. So that's why I did it that way. So you can slide them up and down and don't have to worry about them coming from the root. So that's why I crocheted, and you can do whatever you want to do with that. And then I got two colors. So I got this darker color here, and I got this lighter color here, because I thought that would be a nice contrast for somebody. Now, you don't have to be Caucasian to do this. You can be black and wear your hair. You know, everybody wear color. So you can do that too. You can do the same colors, because, you know, everybody's into those trio colors. And that's what made me want to do this, to demonstrate. This lasts a long time, so I charge a little bit more for this. It takes a little longer to do. So, but like I said, it lasts forever. You can wear this anywhere from a month to a year. And I'm going to demonstrate how to do this right quick. So I cut off some yarn. And what I like to do is I like to measure my piece. So I got this little piece here out. And you see how long she is. She's pretty long. So you're going to have to adjust for her length, because she don't want to cut her hair off just to get these things. So I like to measure. So I go from the root down, and I'm going to do a plait, and then I can do a wrap. So her hair stops about right here. So if it stops here, I like to go drastically a little longer, and then I flip it over. And I almost measured this just right. I'm off by a little bit, but I almost got that just right. Look at there. Almost just right. So anyway, what I do is that, and then I just pick a side. So since we got more this way, I pick this side to cut. And then I have 3 pieces. When I cut it, I have 3 pieces here. And so just like a feed-in braid, you can feed these in one at a time if it's small enough. I use 3 pieces regardless if I'm making them, if I'm doing like this size of a braid. If I'm going to do bigger pieces, then you just add an additional piece. So if you're doing a medium piece, you would add another piece of yarn. If you wanted it a little bit bigger, you just keep adding pieces until you get them to the size that you want. They're going to still braid up and look the same no matter if you got 10 strands or 2. They still braid up and look the same. So what I do is I come in here with my 3 pieces. And just like braids, I just twist it around. Get my 3 pieces here. And then I just go to braiding. Now this color is a little darker, so hopefully you'll be able to see the difference a little bit better, the contrast a little bit better. So the good thing about this is you can still, you know how you tuck? You can still tuck with this too, if it's small enough. You can tuck it. And then I don't mind a little hint of the color coming through, because I think it adds a nice little bit of contrast. But for the most part, I try to keep the yarn on top so that it doesn't look silky and then yarn, silky then yarn. But I don't mind the silky peeking through as long as the yarn is the majority of what you see. So I'll let you see. And then I'll show you like what you can do. So if you feel like, oh, that's too much, I don't like how much of that blonde is showing. If you don't like how much the blonde is showing, you can just go back up and add another piece, add another string. So you just come in here, and you don't have to cut these that long because you adding these in. You just adding a string in. So you come back in, and you just add the string in here, wherever you want it at. And it'll give you that extra coverage that you need. And if you feel like that ain't enough, you just keep adding until you get it the way you want. And then your next pieces, you know exactly how many to cut. So I'm going to show you the difference from adding that one piece, how different this looks. Come on, fingers. There we go. Let me show you. I want you guys to see up close what I mean. There's one piece giving me a run for my money. Do you hear me? There we go. There we go. I don't know why I was acting like that. You gotta make hair do what you want it to do. Alright, now I'm gonna bring you guys in here close in just a second so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm still doing the same technique. As you can see, it's peeked through a little bit. I don't mind that little bit of peekaboo. I think it adds a nice contrast for the hair. And I just keep going and see what I do is I keep my yarn on top of the hair, just like how you do regular braid or regular tuck braid. See how I keep the yarn on top? I keep the yarn on top. So that is mostly what you're going to see, what you're going to get. So you don't want that hair overpowering the yarn, because what's the point of doing a yarn braid if you're going to have your hair out in it? You know what I'm saying? It ain't giving you the look that you're going for. So as you can see, and I keep my I keep my fingers close. That's why my rotations are always so even all the way down, because I keep my fingers close to my work so that it always, everything is the same all the way down. The rotation is the same all the way through. And I like it tight because it lasts longer. Not tight like in grip tight to the head, but tight like I keep my fingers close to my rotation. So every rotation is the same. Every rotation is the same all the way down, all the way down. I keep them the same all the way down. And I'm going to show you guys what I do when I get down here to the end. I'm sorry this had to be so long. She got long hair. So now we coming to the end of her hair. This is what was important. This is another thing that was important that I wanted to share. So just like how in regular braids, when you do the regular braids and you rotate. So what I do is, see here, I got this little piece of hair. I rotate around. I make sure I keep rotating around. And I'm going to show you. So like this hair right here is peeking. I steal this string from the other one. And I cover that braid, the tip of that up. And I keep that's why I keep my fingers close, because I keep control of it. And then as I come back around, that piece of hair, it grabbed it. So now when I come back this way, I just steal it back and put it back with it. And then it just keeps covering all the way down. Sometimes you can get every single hair. Like I try my best to get every single hair inside of the braid. And then that way I don't have to go back and do a whole bunch of trimming and cutting. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to go back and trim those little pieces because they just so stubborn. But if you can avoid cutting, trimming away anything, I do. I think you shouldn't have to do that in every session. Especially if you trim out the hair before you get started. And sometimes when people have blunt haircuts, it'll make it hard for you to cover up that hair too. So that's another thing you got to worry about if somebody's got a blunt haircut or not. So this is well past, her hair stops here. Her hair stops here. So I'm well past her hair, where her hair stops at. So I'm coming to my first piece of the yarn where it stops. So I can either continue to braid past that because I have enough strings to hide that, like I was just doing up here with her hair. I have enough strings to hide that, or I can stop now. So I'm just going to stop now just because I'm only doing a demonstration. So here I want you guys to see close what I do. So here's the two strands that's together. I wrap these strands around here like this. Take one to the back, and then I bring them together and tie them in a knot right here. Tied in a knot. And so, you know, sometimes when you tie it in a knot, you get it, it sits to the side by itself like that. So what I do is I switch it to a different strand and bring this knot back around. The piece that's sticking up like that, I bring it back around and I meet it on the other side with a different strand. And then I tie that in a knot. Tie that in a knot. And then I like to pull down on my knots. So all my hairs is hanging down like that. You don't see anything sticking out to the side or protruding. This is just a short piece of hair that was left from the yarn. So that's not, that don't have anything to do with the knot. So then I come in here and I pay attention to my knot. Because remember I made 2 knots. You don't want to cut one of the knots. So you come in here and you just cut off that piece. And then that's what the knot looks like from a distance. See, it looks good from a distance. You don't have to worry about doing anything else to it unless you absolutely want to. That's what it looks like when you just cut it away. And then I gotta, let me see here. I have a lighter in here I was going to demonstrate. I meant to have this lighter pulled out so I wouldn't have to look for it. But here you go. So if you didn't like the little fuzzy sticking up, if you can see that, if you don't like the little fuzzy sticking up, you just get close with the heat. Don't put the lighter on it. Just let the heat get close. And then you just smash with your finger like that. And that's what it looked like. See there? It's a perfect little round tip. So that's what I do. And then that's the dark hair. And then I'm going to do it on the light hair. So you see that I just get close. I don't put it on the hair. I just let the heat melt it. And then I just smash it like that. And see, it doesn't turn colors. It didn't turn colors at all. It's the same color as the hair, so it doesn't look burnt. And then when you touch it, you know, when you burn it, it get hard and it feels like a knot. This isn't, it's more firm, but it's not hard like how that is. And it didn't turn colors. It stayed the same color as it is. And so that's what I do with those. And I'll demonstrate that again here. I just take the lighter. I'll take the lighter. Can y'all see that? See the fuzzy? That's another one. And I don't get close. I just let the heat, I don't put the fire on it. I just let the heat get close and melt it like that. And then I just put my finger on it to make sure everything is sealed. And there you have it. It's not black and burnt looking. It's the same color and it's sealed. So that's one of my mini tricks. And then I'll show you guys how I used to do. I thought it was cute when I was younger. But I used to take the yarn. And whenever I wanted something different, I would do my tips in a different color than what the top part of my hair was in. So let me show you what I do with the yarn. So, you know, when you fold it, you get 2. You fold it again, you get 4. So when I wrap with 4 because I like it to be a little thicker. So those was wrapped with 4. And I'm going to finish it with 4. That's the wrong end. I'm about to cut the wrong end. So there's 2. And when you fold them over, it's 4. So I like to leave the bubble whenever I'm adding on, extending on. So I'm going to add on to her hair. Let's scoot her in here so you guys can see. So that's my silk wrap. And as the days go on, like how uniform this wrap looks, it won't look like that in days. It just started out like that. But after you shower and lay on it and rub it, it starts to look more and more like a lock. All this friction and stuff, it'll start looking like real dreadlocks. It'll start rounding out and looking like locks. That's why I used to love this style so much, and it lasts forever. So I just lay this right up to the butt, underneath the knot. I like to fold it actually. I ain't gonna lay it straight because that'll be confusing, you guys. I do it so many different ways. I like to get up close right here to the butt, and then I just start wrapping. And I like to lay mine 4 to 4 like that. 4 strands all the way around. And then, you know, your first wrap is going to be hard because you're trying to make it match. So you got to come around. And she on the this mannequin is on a stick. So, you know, it's going to be a little harder to do this on this stick. But I'll get it. I will get it. Get it going. There we go. So it's on there now. And I just wrap it on down. And I'm going to let you see how these look. It's one of my favorite things to do with color. Because sometimes you don't want just black yarn or blonde yarn. You want to mix it up. You want to have different colors. I like different. I like being different. I like being creative. I like when I walk in the room and I'm the only one with that style, that look. People are like, how can you do that with your... Oh, you better believe whenever I want to style my locks, I can style them. I put them in some really cute, creative updos. See how that's looking? And so I like to start up a little high like that because, you know, you don't want the transition to be like a big jump off where it start out thick and then all of a sudden you got the skinny bottom. I hate that. So I like to start my transition off a little higher so that it'll match coming down the strands. It will match. And then this is where your drop off usually happen, right when you separate from that. So you just want to wrap it twice in the same spot. And that'll give you that transition that you need to go from thick to skinny. And then after that, you just wrap on down. Wrap on down, wrap on down. And so here's my other thing I do. So after you wrap down, you know, you come like, this is her hair here. That's the rest of her hair right there. So what I do is, I'm talking, so don't come in noisy, okay? You come in, just don't come in noisy. So I steal 2.
Can I use your bathroom?
Yeah, but go ahead. I steal 2 and leave 2. And then I finish my wrap down past here. And I got to wrap past her hair because I don't want her hair left hanging out. So I wrap past her hair. Come on down. See, I got a little tip left. 1 more wrap and it'll be her whole tip. All right, so that's the end of her tip. Now I like to go down just a little bit further to make sure that that doesn't unravel and that it stays secure inside. So I wrap down, and then let me show you how I end it. So I come on down past her tip, and then I get here, and then I rotate back once, and then I tie it. Only 1 string rotates back. 1 string rotates back, and then you tie it. So this really is enough. I can tie it this one time and be done with it. I do that, and you can see that it can be done. I can cut it off. But because like when I know she gonna get showered, she might go swimming. I want to secure my knot. So I take that knot, that end to stick up a little bit. See how it's sticking up? Both ends stick up, but the one that's sticking up the highest, I take that one and a different strand. And I hold that different strand. This one becomes my back wrap. And when it comes back around, I tie over top of that one that was sticking up with it. I tie over the top of it. And then I pull that through there. And then I tighten it down. And that is now a secure knot. If you want your knot on the very bottom, see that secure knot? It's secure. You don't even have to do it again. But if you want an even knot on the bottom, because remember we tied 1 knot one way and 1 knot the other way. That's so when you cut it, you get a perfectly round little bottom. But if you want even more security and you just feel like I need to tie that one more time, you can take those 2 separate legs and pull them. See how I'm pulling tight as I can? This knot ain't never coming out. And then you get right up to the knot. And you cut right at that knot on both sides. And you can see that knot is round and perfect. It's a perfect knot. It ain't no fuzz sticking out or nothing. And then again, if you think like, I don't know, I'm not sure if that knot will stay, You just grab the lighter. And again, you just, oh, the lamp. You just pull it up and you let the fire get close. You don't touch it with don't put the heat on it. If you put the heat on it, it'll turn it black. So there you go. Nice and sealed. And it looks like a dreadlock. In a couple days, they'll all start looking like dreadlocks. Even though these are plaited, they look plaited and fresh the first day. But that's the beautiful thing about them. Every day, the older and older they get, the more perfect they are. The more and more and more they start to look like dreadlocks. And then when from daily rubbing and moving and stuff, the rotation of these braids is why, another reason why I like to braid them, rotate like that. It fades. So it's there today, but as you wear this and stuff, it fades. You won't see that this is so perfect. It'll start looking like a perfect dreadlock. That's why I like this style so much. Well, there you have it. You have a regular braid at the knot base with the knot on top, and it's a long dreadlock. So if you want them down to your butt, you can. This one's a knotless one in the roots, so you know when you pull them up, they don't hurt. When you start them out like the old-fashioned way, you know, of course, when you first start wearing them, they always feel tight to the scalp. They're a little bit more sore. But the knotless, you can move them around. You can pin them up this day one, and they don't hurt, just like the knotless braids don't hurt. So that's those two. And then this one is the wrap. I made it thicker so that you guys can see it. You don't have to use 4 to wrap. You can use 2 to wrap, but it'll be a lot smaller. And the rotation is not so visible. As you can see, that's two-tone, that's blonde, and then I put the dark color on the bottom, and that's rotated all the way to the knot. I didn't burn this. That's the knot I put on there. I don't think I burned it. I don't know. I can't tell. It don't look like it's been burnt. Might have. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But that's that one. It's so pretty. See how the two tones are? They look so pretty. And then if I wanted to spiral this up for, you know, an extra look, I can do that. See how that is? That's so pretty. Very pretty. Very pretty. All right, guys. That's my demo for today. This is a service that I charge a lot of money for because these last forever. So if you're not sure if you want to truly lock your hair up, get your hair yarn braided and see how you like it, because you might just wear these braids and never ever lock it. That's what I did for a long time. It wasn't until I started losing my hair that I decided I need to do this for real. But if it wasn't for that, I would definitely be wearing my yarn braids, because I like the idea that when I had somewhere to go or something to do, if I wanted to wear my hair, if I wanted to wear my hair out, I could. But anyway, I'm videoing. But anyway, that's what these are. These is the combination. If you like combination of the yarn and the braids, you can do that too. You don't have to be one way or another. And then I showed you before I wrapped this tip that you can leave your hair out on the ends if it's curly and just wear it like that, because I know that that's in bohemian, boho, whatever they calling it these days. That look is in. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Again, my show is about tips and tricks. I love tips and tricks. You never know what you can create. Thanks so much. You guys keep watching. I'll keep posting. Peace.